Hello, today we will going to discuss about the one more topic, that is small group discussion technique. So when we are telling about the small group discussion technique or a small group communication technique, that could be defined as it is a small group techniques which are made methods used in a group situation to bring about the group act. That means when we are telling about a small group, it is about 50 people. The up to 50 people are called as a small group, and the communication which takes place or the discussion takes place within that group is called as a small group discussion technique. There are different types of small group discussion techniques. In this session, we can discuss some few of them. They are lecture, panel discussion, group discussion, seminar, symposium, brainstorming, buzz group, and workshop. Now let's see one by one. The first technique in a small group discussion technique is lecture method. This you know very well because you have come across in your day-to-day life about this lecture. In this method, there will be a verbal communication takes place about a particular topic that has been explained by a speaker to a group of audience. See, when we are telling about a lecture method, it is a one way. Sometimes it is a one-way communication where a communicator will going to address the audience with respect to a particular topic. When we are telling about a lecture method, that has to be well organized and has to be well prepared such that we can able to divert the attention of the audience and convey the message to them very effectively. Some of the important characteristics of this lecture method are it permits only one-way communication. As I told, in a lecture method, the speaker will going to deliver the information about a specific topic. So audience will be always a passive listener. They may not be participating in that communication. So that's why it is a one-way communication. Here, complete and detailed communication will take place without any interruption, and it is one of the best method where we can able to convey the information very rapidly. And here the control of audience is rigid since it is entirely in the hands of speaker. When I am delivering a speech or speaking about a particular topic, the lecture, the communication process is under the control of a communicator rather than the participants also. It is an abstract form of group interaction where there is a high degree of competency of speaker and high level of audience cooperation. See, this is nothing but when a lecture is given, a communicator or a speaker should have a competency on the subject matter on which they are delivering the speech, and also they must have a high level of cooperation from the audience or the listeners. If the listeners are interrupting in between or they may not cooperate in the communication process, then the lecture method cannot be effective in delivering the speech. Many times the group members can have only little control over the content or the approach of delivering the message. It is very difficult to measure the effectiveness of a speech or a speaker on the group with respect to the objective in which they are communicating to the audience. So this lecture method is having its own advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is it is very much useful technique for the large group where individual is having some common background of information and experience. That means this could be used to the people who have minimum knowledge about the topic that has to be delivered to them. And the next advantage is it can cover authoritative and large quantity of materials in a given time. As I told, the speaker is having full control over the communication. He can able to cover the topic based on his well organized and well prepared schedule. Whatever the topic is given, that could be covered in a given time period, and it could be used to supplement other extension method. When I am using a demonstration, I can use the lecture method to give a first-hand information. Then I can go for skill teaching. Along with the advantage, this lecture method is having its own disadvantages. The first one is here we can able to impart only the knowledge, but the skill could not be developed, because to do the impart the skills there is a need of participation of the audience. but here only the information is given to them. And the second disadvantage is it is not effective when we are not going to test to what extent the communication is effective. Simply we are delivering and they have to listen means always they will become a passive listener rather than actively getting the information. And here the biggest disadvantage of the lecture technique is it is a one-way communication process. And the next small group discussion technique is group discussion, which is very popular and is used in many areas. Here, the group discussion will occur between two or more people who are having a same problem or having the same questions with them, and they will going to exchange their knowledge and information and evaluate all these things such that they should come out with the solution for the problem. That is the group discussion. There are the different steps of group discussion. The first one is we must recognize what is the common problem which is very serious among the group of people when we start a group discussion. And the next one is we have to find out what is the fact to solve the problem. Next is we should analyze all those facts. See, when we are telling some problem, there may be 100 of solutions. We may take all those things, but we must analyze what are all those reasons for this problem that could be solved very easily. And the next is we must reach to the decision to take an action. Means based on the availability of the fact, we should decide in such a way that we can solve the problem with our action. Next, planning a joint course of action. See, when we are discussing together, everybody should come to a common consensus that this will be an effective technique to solve the problem. And we have to implement the solution into an action to take a solution or to solve the problem which is already existing. That group discussion meeting is very advantageous in terms because it is a democratic method. Democratic method means here each and everybody is having an opportunity to express their ideas, views, and everybody's opinion and views acceptance will be considered while taking a decision or coming out with the solution for the problem. Here each and every member in the group is having a greater interest in getting a solution. See, it may not be passive participants. The lecture method with the active participation is nothing but a group discussion. Many times we used to tell that. Because here the participants also acts as an effective agent in communicating. So each and every member will be very interested and enthusiastic in giving a solution or coming out with the right fact responsible for the problem. And it is one of the best scientific method and a systematic method of getting the solution for any problem. Here, when there is a group of people, we can get a right conclusion for the problem based on the experience of many people. And here all type of subjects could be introduced. That means if I am interested in one thing, other member may be interested in other subject. So all the subjects will come to a discussion and we can able to discuss about a wide area of information in a group discussion meeting. Along with these advantages, the group discussion is having its own disadvantages. What the major disadvantage is diversity in the group. If the group members are diverse, heterogeneous, having diversified interest, that may create a difficulty in getting a solution for the problem or to learn the things from among themselves. And many times, indisciplined individuals may spoil the quality of group discussion. Some may be short tempered and they don't want to listen to others and they become autocratic. At that time, this misbehavior may hinder the quality of a group discussion. And the group discussion is a slow process in getting the solution for the problem. And here, the group harmony or the cohesiveness among the group cannot be created when the group is very large. If it is a very few members, somehow we can maintain that homogeneity and integrity among them. If the number of members in a group goes on increases, it will become very difficult to maintain that integrity among the group members. Next small group discussion technique is seminar. You have heard the seminar in many occasions. The seminar which enables to study in depth about a particular topic or a specific area under the guidance of an expert. Here in a seminar, they will going to discuss about the paper which is prepared by an expert based on his research or based on the research which is conducted by him in a practical way. That means if I am having a research on application of ICT tools in dissemination of technology, I will going to present the result which I have got, and based on that result, the huge discussion will take place and we can get an in-depth idea about a specific area on a research basis. Here, seminar is having an advantage of pooling the opinion of large number of people in a particular place. Because I am expert in that, like me, the so many experts will be there in a specific area. If all the experts come together, they will going to pool their knowledge such that we can get a huge advantage of getting a good information for the specific area based on the research. At the end of a seminar, there will be a conclusions or the recommendation about a particular topic which has been discussed during the seminar for taking the action. In a seminar, the huge number of experts will going to discuss about a specific problem, and based on that discussion, they may come out with the solution or the conclusion or summarization or the recommendation about a particular problem that could be put it into action. Next small group discussion technique is the panel discussion. As the name itself indicates, it involves a panel of people or a group of experts, maybe 3 to 4 experts who are expertised in a specific area of specialization, and they may be invited and discussed with the other people just to just to exchange their knowledge with the group of people that could be used for a further or in future. Here the discussion will take place between the experts and the audience or the trainees such that they can get information about a specific subject. Here in a panel discussion, there will be a mutual interaction will take place between the panelist and also the audience. Not only with the audience and the panelist, with among the panelists also there will be a huge mutual interaction or the discussion will take place that leads to an effective understanding of the topic and get a specific conclusion for the problem. In a panel discussion, there must be a presence of a moderator is required, because if a one panelist will occupy whole time, other may not get an opportunity to deliver their expertise. So the moderator will going to allot a time for each panelist, and afterwards he will going to give a sufficient time for the mutual discussion or the question answer session to sum up the entire things and to have a knowledge or the specific conclusion for the problem on which the panel discussion will takes place. Next one is the symposium. Symposium can be defined as a short presentation of lectures about a particular subject matter by two or more speakers with relative high degree of competence concerned with their subject matter. Here in a symposium, we will going to call the people who are expertised in their specific area of specialization, and they have done a lot of research work on that, and they will be called for delivering their lecture in a specific time period for the audience to have that information. But in a symposium, it is a formal method and comparatively easy to organize. The one more advantage of this symposium is here, the one can have the control over the subject and time that could be given for preparation or preparation for that symposium. That means here we can decide the subject matter and the time will be given for the expertise to give their information. They will be having a sufficient time for this. But here, the complex subject problems may readily be divided into logical presentation. That is nothing but when we are having a symposium on entrepreneurship, it is a huge topic which is having some of the subtopics that could be divided among the different expertise, and we can logically order all these subjects for the delivery of expertise. In a symposium, there will be a motivation for interaction between the extension agents. Audience gets enhanced as a result of presentation and different dimensions. For example, in the symposium, if I have conducted in-depth research on particular subject that will be presented by me, that gives them a first-hand information and a guidance for the extension personals and even for a farmer or the any audience, and they could be used for their future work. Here, not only that is my area of expertise, along with that some more experts will come and they will going to deliver or give a complete information or the first hand information about a specific topic, such that you can be highlighted about it or lighten your knowledge about that, such that you can perform your work very effectively and efficiently. Next is the buzz group. The buzz group is nothing but an alternate method for breaking a large group into a small group to facilitate the discussion. For example, in a training program, when we are conducting the training program, the number of participants may be 30. We are always discussing among the 30. To make everybody attentive and to participate in the training program, we will break that 30 members into a 6 groups as a 5 members each, and they will discuss and they will come out with the solution for a particular topic. Here in a buzz group, it is an informal method. What happens, the huge group is break down into small group, and for each small group a topic is allotted to them, and they should discuss among themselves and come out with the solution for that, and they should present it in front of others. So it is a method where there is a guaranteed total participation of each and every member in a group, because the group is very small, 3 to 4 members or 5 members, and it is having and a potentiality of total individual. For example, I am maybe a knowledgeable or I have a skill in presenting something, but I may not get the opportunity. But here in a small buzz group session, you are having a complete individuality to tell your opinion or present your things. It is a convenient for a group of 50 or less. It is easy to set up. See, usually the buzz group technique could be used in a group of 50 or less than that. As I told, because when we are dividing a member of a group into a small group, if a group itself is 100 or 200, we cannot divide them again. The number of small group will going to increase. At that time, we cannot concentrate each and everybody, and we cannot take everybody's opinion what they have discussed among in their group. So that's why it is very suitable for the group which is having less than 50 members in that. Next is the workshop. See, the workshop is a cooperative gathering of individuals who discuss, learn and apply practical skills under the supervision, expert supervision. See, here in a workshop, all the experts who are expertised in their field will come together and they will discuss among themselves, and they will going to learn the which is the practically required. They will learn and apply the skill practically. That means here all the people will going to learn theoretical and practical component in a workshop. That's why the name itself is called as a workshop. Here you will work it out and get the skill by doing the technology or by doing the information in a practical way. Some of the silent features of the workshops are, here the work implied and included should evolve from all the people's attending. That means what is the practical things has to be done is to be given by the group together. They should sit and discuss and come out with that. And it should need to have a proper planning session. Before starting your practical session, you should have a proper planning to carry out or to work by involving all the participants in a beginning. And here the much time should be developed to work session in which all people work with others on a problem significant to them. That means instead of discussing orally, here more time is diverted to do the practical work such that they can able to solve the problem which is very significant to them. And there should be always a summarizing session to evaluate the session, that what are the discussion took place and what is the solution we have come out with and what we have learned from this workshop. And next is the brainstorming. As the name itself indicates, in the brainstorming, a small group of knowledgeable persons will be gathered together and they will be given with a problem and they should discuss among themselves and come out with as much as possible solution for a given problem. Here, we are generating a wide range of solutions or the options in solving a problem. That means here the group of people coming and discussing, and each individual will be having an opportunity to give their ideas or the experience, and based on that they will list out what are all the possible solution could be given for a particular problem given to them. These problems are solutions are should be in such a way that it should address the issues or the situations, or it should help them to take a decision. Here, the spontaneity and credibility is very important. The spontaneity means you should come out immediately with the solution. You are not given a time, sufficient time, that 1 day, 2 day will not be given. You will be given certain period of time. And the next one is credibility, means whenever you are giving a solution, that solution should be trustworthy or should be very effective. And developing a positive attitude among the participant by encouraging them to listen carefully to others. Here what happens, everybody will be having their own idea, their own opinion, and they are having their own suggestions are the solution for the problem. Here we have to encourage the participants such that they should respect each and everybody's opinion, and they should have a positive attitude in giving an opinion about a particular problem, that has to listen carefully and consider for the solution for the problem. This is all about the small group discussion technique. I hope you have got the first hand information. Thanks a lot and thank you very much.